Hello, hope you are all doing very good. It's February 23rd, and today I'm back. So today I'm going to be talking about multiple things. I'm going to start off by talking about pretty much our ongoing winter weather that we have in portions of the Northeast, and I'm going to be talking about a potentially pretty large severe weather event later this week, or really into this weekend, especially on Sunday. We're going to be talking about that. I hope you are all doing very good. It's Thursday, and let's go ahead and get into the video. So this is the current radar. We're looking at kind of the Albany area of New York. You can see into Vermont, New Hampshire as well. We just have bands of kind of freezing rain and stuff throughout this area north of Albany. We've had this, I mean, this goes back to about 4 o'clock. We can still see how these moved in. Saratoga Springs, it's like even Schenectady kind of started off with some freezing rain. Even Albany, but then switched over to rain. And if I pause it, latest reports like around this area, we just have a lot of freezing rain reports right north of Schenectady, and even over into southern Vermont. We switched radars up to the Burlington radar, and we can see a little bit of precip in that area. But then over as you get over into like Maine and stuff, Maine and New Hampshire, we're seeing a good bit of snowing in some of these areas here. So we do have some snowfall occurring. That is, snow is accumulated. So that's pretty interesting. So now, I mean, as you probably know, like yesterday and stuff, or really Tuesday through today, we saw a pretty significant winter storm across areas of the northern plains, which, I mean, that has since kind of moved out. We check radar in that area right now, and there's nothing there. So it's good to see. But we had a pretty significant winter storm. Some areas definitely verified blizzard. Or had verified blizzard conditions, and we saw a lot of snow over a pretty wide swath of areas, kind of what was expected. And yeah, so total, I mean, looking at reports across the South Dakota area, Rapid City, generally in like the 8 to 12 inch range, even a 4-inch report, like kind of spread out between like 4 and 8 inches of snow in the Rapid City area. Most of South Dakota here, like especially the southern part of the state, got about 8 inches of snow in some areas, over 6 inches though, widespread. And then up at the northern portion of the state, the northwestern portion of the state didn't do too well, surprisingly. But then as you get into the northwestern portion, the northeastern portion did a little better. There's some reports in Watertown of 10.5 inches of snow, which that's about, yeah, just of 4 to 6 feet according to that. So very interesting. Over in Wyoming, we saw some significant snowfall. Some reports of about 40 inches in some areas in the northwestern part of the state. And then down into Colorado, the Denver area saw snow. The western kind of suburbs of Denver, about 4 inches into the mountains, even some areas over a foot. And in the eastern part, about 1 inch, but still some snow. That's good to see. Even down in Colorado Springs, there is a report of 1.5 inches. Not sure if that snow really made it to the eastern side of town, though. And even down into New Mexico, Arizona, even Southern California, we've seen some pretty large snowfall reports. 37 inches snow summit in Bear Mountain, 7,000 feet. In Southern California, though, I mean, this isn't like way up here. This is very far south. I had a report in Arizona as well. I think of, let's see here. Report in Arizona is of 24 inches. So pretty interesting for sure what we saw. And then up into the Minnesota area, we saw the highest report in Minnesota was 21 inches in the southwestern part of the state, kind of where it was expected to be, that one little pocket of heavier snow. And then we saw pockets of heavier snow as we go over into the Minneapolis area. I mean, generally about a foot to like 15, 16 inches. I mean, I would actually say it didn't live up to, or not, it did definitely live up to what it was supposed to do, but snowfall totals are a little lower in my opinion than I think they're forecasted to be. I mean, outside of town, we have multiple reports of like only 11 inches of snow. 11. I mean, so it definitely was a very impactful system, though. I mean, by far, I'm not saying it wasn't impactful, but it was still very significant. But I think it also still set some records, but it didn't bring quite as much accumulation as expected, but it was still a big issue though, just because of the blowing snow, the duration of the event and stuff. Up into the Duluth area, we saw about, I mean, 3 to 5 inches of snow in Duluth outside of town more. And then into Wisconsin, large portion of the state getting more than 6 inches. Areas getting more than a foot as well. Even in the southern part of the state, Watertown over near Milwaukee, we saw a couple of inches in that area. And then we saw a lot of sleet. In northern and central Michigan, we saw about, like some reports of about, I mean, almost a foot. And then in central Michigan, as you get down towards like Flint, Midland, Michigan, we had about, I mean, 6 inches of snow up there, and then less as you get out of Flint. The Northeast so far, we have a lot of reports. The highest one's 8 inches in Vermont, right there. But I mean, generally we have about 1 to 2 inches all the way down to like this portion of Massachusetts, which is pretty cool. North of Albany, you have a good several inches as well. So I mean, not a bad winter storm for the Northeast, but it's kind of like the same areas that have already gotten so much snow this year. Or not so much, the same areas that have really seen a lot of that snow are just getting it again. Which actually, if I'll pull it up real quick, because we don't, I mean, it's not a whole ton to talk about today, so we can pull up like total accumulated snowfall this winter. Forgot where, I think it's just RTMA actually. No. I know there's a way you can look at it, but here we go. Yeah, so season to date snowfall. So I mean, the same areas that have like continuously gotten it pretty much. You go to the Northeast, are just seeing more snow, and then the coastal areas, like, I've not gotten anything. I mean, in many areas, I've not gotten anything, especially down in New Jersey, barely anything. We go to the even like the DC area, seeing practically nothing. The Southeast has seen practically nothing. I don't think that's going to change in some areas. So, I mean, I know like in some areas of the Southeast, like, there's never a lot of, like, I mean, it's not uncommon to get winters where you get very little snow, like half an inch or something. But I mean, I know where I live, we've had like less than 3 winters where we've literally had no snow. And, the 2 of them, or if this year, if we don't get anything, that means that 2 of them will have been from the past 2 years, like 3 years, as we didn't get anything. One of the winters was 2020 to 2021. We didn't get anything then because we got missed out on everything that year, or that winter. But I mean, I really hope next year we can get something in like at least this area here, or like the northern part of that. I mean, I'm not just saying that because I live there, but you know, okay, west of Atlanta, okay, this area here, they got affected by Benji, okay. I mean, over here, I got nothing from Benji. So I mean, most of the Athens area didn't get anything from Benji. Some like saw a little bit of snow, like a trace up to like a 1/4 inch, but I mean, practically nothing. So I mean, we haven't had our average snowfall where I live in Athens in 9 years. So it's been a while. So I hope we can get something soon, but. So I don't think it's going to happen this year, but you never know what can happen in March. Okay, I'm just going to say that. Now back over to weather, or not back over to weather, back over to like other stuff that's more important. So these are our storm reports from our little severe weather event we had yesterday. Kind of did what it was expected to do. Just we had a bunch of wind reports clustered right around that's like southern Illinois area, eastern Missouri area, areas of Kentucky down in Arkansas. Even we had 3 hail reports mixed in the northern side of that as well. And also, on the 21st, we had a little severe event in the Northeast. Had a squall line produce some damaging wind in areas of PA and New York. And in central New Jersey, we even had some large hail and and a tornado report. So pretty interesting for sure for this time of year to see a tornado in New Jersey. But we did not. Over to forecasting, like the forecasting side of things, not looking back. So this is day 4. So day 4 convective outlook. This is valid for Sunday. We have a pretty rare 30% risk from southern Kansas down into areas of Texas, 15% all the way up to almost the Kansas City area, and then down into like the Abilene area, I think. So I mean, pretty interesting to see this time of year, but also kind of interesting. It's good to see this because I mean we haven't had very many like classic Central Plains severe weather events in a pretty long time. We've definitely had a lack of them over the past several years, though. I think since like 2019. I know in 2020 we just didn't have much. 2021, I forgot, but I mean, I don't think we have much either. 2020. I know last year we didn't. Uh, so maybe, I mean, maybe we can see something in a little bit of a different area than what we always see this time of year, which is like the same area as this area right here. So that'd be kind of cool to see. Hopefully, though, I mean, we're gonna talk about it. It doesn't look too good, I guess you could say. Now, I mean, I'm saying that from a point like like if I'm saying it from like a storm chasing perspective. Okay, I guess that's the way to put it. I don't really know what else to say. Then the event looks good. Okay, or in my opinion, it looks pretty good. I mean, it's for this time of year. This is happening in the summer. It'd be a little different situation, but these are our dew points Sunday evening. Okay, we're looking at a very classic. We got a low, or pretty classic system. We got a low in like western Kansas, southwestern Kansas. We have a clear cold front right here, or just a dry line, and definitely have a warm front about right here. We just got that southerly surface winds bringing that up. Southerly surface winds. I mean, even getting a little bit out of the southeast here, which if you just look at the in the upper levels here, you can tell which way the wind's moving. So I mean, that's clearly, well, but like looking at the, I mean, yeah, we're going to be seeing definitely. I mean, we're definitely gonna have a tornado. You can clearly tell off of this that we do have shear. It's like the most basic stuff here. You can tell we have shear. Surface winds like this and winds overlapping that, and the upper levels like that. So that's very clear shear. Although we're gonna go a little more in depth with that than just talking about that. So 500 millibar winds on Sunday evening. I want to lock this on Sunday evening. Looking good. We have a nice streak down into New Mexico. Extending out into the southern plains. This area here is really getting set up good. I just want to go ahead and take a sounding here, not even looking at anything. Yeah, I mean that. Let's take another one. That one's a little contaminated. If we can get rid of that capping, the shear is fairly good in this sounding. I mean, you could see some stuff out of that for sure. 850 millibar winds. We can see also favoring that area. 925. Yeah, this does look like a pretty good event. And now I want to take a look at severe weather, or not severe weather, surface-based CAPE. So instability could be a little bit of an issue, but I think we can make do with what we have. And this is, but one thing the GFS is indicating a ton of is just capping. I mean, every sounding I'm taking, we just keep getting, yeah, I mean, there's a cap pretty much everywhere. There's a cap covering pretty much the entire warm sector with this on the GFS. Now, I mean, what that could, I mean, I wouldn't trust this completely though, but I mean, yeah, it's like right past the cold front though. Let's see. Okay, I mean, yeah, I mean, we can definitely see where we don't have a ton of capping. If we could break, I mean, plenty of instability. The shear profiles are excellent. Hodo's fairly good, I'd say. So you would definitely have, like, this definitely looks like a pretty decent tornado. I mean, it definitely looks like a we're gonna see a tornado threat. But the thing is if the GFS verifies, then there's clearly gonna be capping issues, which means that we're just really not gonna get storms to initiate. Now I'm not completely sure. Okay, the new NAM does go out far enough, which the NAM, first off, is just a little further west where the center, or where that low is. So Sunday evening the low is a little slower. It's still further to the west. Dew point, we don't have a whole lot of moisture in the area either. I mean, but this is like this was one of the first runs, or the first run that the NAM actually went out this far. So keep that in mind. It's gonna change. The NAM is not a perfect model by far, but we have dews in the 60s up into like areas in northern Texas. We go to 03Z though. And we start to see those dews extend a little further north. Our lows up here, very clear, dry line right there, and if I can pull up those dew points, yeah, we have, this looks good. Just take a sounding out in front of it. What? Okay. Let's pull up capping here, mixed layer, CIM. Yeah, so I mean, we have some capping like right along it, but there is a lot less capping than the GFS has, which is something to note. Now the NAM does tend to have a little bit of a cold bias, so that's also why we see these just cold temperatures. I mean, yeah, we generally don't. I mean, that doesn't look like. I also think we just lack instability because of that as well. But Do we have any, like, where do we see instability on the NAM? Oh yeah, so when we see way up into, like, right over the low, but the environment's trash up there. Go to the next tower though, 060. We see it move a little further east. Let's take a sounding, central Oklahoma. And that is extremely contaminated. Let's see where we have precip. Okay. So I'm not expecting this to be good, but just look at the shear though. The shear with this is insane. Which is why, I mean, I think any small changes, like, just look at look at it. Look at the Hodo. The thing is, it's just our thermodynamics and the NAM are just terrible. So if we see an uptrend with that, which I think we definitely are going to see somewhat of an uptrend, and also as we'll have a much better understanding as we get, like, models like HRRR to actually go out far enough. And then I definitely think we're going to see a tornado thread across many of these areas. I mean, the shear with this is, I mean, some of the best I've seen in the plains recently for sure, or in this general area. So, yeah, but that's pretty much all I'm going to go into tonight. I'm not going to look at it too much. Also, I'm very tired. So sorry if I, like, just didn't really make sense of some things I said. I think I said I think everything I said made sense, but sorry if it didn't. And I'll be back either tomorrow or Saturday. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. I appreciate it. I hope y'all have an excellent day tomorrow.